Catfish Charlie. Catch 'em, Catfish Charlie.
Back to fishing and hunting.
Yeah, we're going to do a first segment here. Is actually we got our
Come on, you can get it out.
first gun deer season coming up with dogs, and it starts Saturday. Youth season been open, and if we got anybody out there that has harvested them deer and the youth, we'd be glad to hear your story this morning. If you want to give us a holler here at WRBE, we'd be glad to talk to you about it.
601-947.
815.
815. All right, here we
But
go.
anyway, if you got a catch or something that we'll talk about you on anything actually. So just give us a call and we'll do it. But remember that Saturday, first gun season opens of the year, and it looks as though we're gonna have a wet day on that.
Yeah.
So
That's about how it goes.
yeah.
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday both. I think right now they talking
Yeah,
about
I think so.
about a pretty good rain.
But you know, hunters, they don't care about rain. When deer season opens the first day, you're gonna be out there, whether it's raining or sun shining. I will be anyway.
I hear you.
But I always go that first morning, and I don't do a lot of morning hunting. Most of mine's in afternoons, so I'll go that first morning, and then that afternoon I'll sit on the food plot, so in my shooter house. So
I got you.
and the rest of the year, that's basically what I do. So
I know you're on hunting, but the pressure's 29.96 today. So
yeah, it's not real bad.
If
It's a little high.
if anybody wants to get out there in that cold water, and
Well,
just have a good
I
time.
mean, yeah, man, I tell you what, the older you get, the smarter you get.
Uh-huh.
Supposed to, wiser, I guess you'd call it.
I'm not sure that always works like that.
But anyway, when I was a kid, I'd pull my clothes off and take my shotgun, bust the ice in front of me to get to a duck, to get that duck. But now, I won't even get out of my bed to go shoot a duck.
Yeah, times do seem to change as you get older.
Yeah, I think you get a little wiser about that. But
Then you just sit around and say, I hope somebody in the family killed a duck today, man.
yeah, or we can have duck for dinner, right? Well, that's all right. We usually have something we can cook up.
All right, well, let's go talking catfishing for a few minutes.
Yeah, we got. I got my magazine from the sports magazine in from Mississippi, and they had an article in there. A lot of people might have seen that. I'll turn it over to you because the lighting ain't real good for me to read. So
Well, that's all right. I was just going to say this is the game and fishing.
yeah, game
Game
and fish.
in the South.
Yeah.
Got a little South on the side.
Yeah.
You got to.
Game and fish South's what it is. Anyway, I get them mixed up between the Mississippi.
This is the
Game and
regional outdoor guide right here, buddy.
Okay. But talking about the big catfish, caught on spinning reels up in one lake in North Carolina, one in South Carolina.
We got Lake Gaston, which is
Yeah.
up in North Carolina. You got the Santee Cooper Lakes, which is in South Carolina.
I guess you see where I underlined them.
Yeah, I
there.
did. And then you've got the Wheeler Lake in Alabama,
Yeah.
over at Wheeler Dam there.
In your neck of the woods,
in my neck
right?
of the woods, right
Yeah.
down 72 from Decatur up toward Florence and Muscle Shoals. And
Yeah.
you just hang a right there when you see the sign that says Wheeler Dam.
And we was going to ride up there one day this year,
Yeah.
and we never did.
Well,
We never have done it.
The year is not over.
Yeah, I know it, but you're on holidays now, so
Plus, I've seen it.
yeah. I was going, the area. I was going to get you to carry me up there. I'd like to
Yeah,
go up there.
we do need to run up there. We just got to get caught up with everything.
Yeah, well, you ain't never
We
going
got-
to do that. I
well,
got news for you.
We're trying to get some things established at church. And I'm afraid to leave at the moment. But
How many years did it take us to build a parsonage? I mean, come on.
A couple of years it was over with. We was doing fine. So all right. No, I meant spiritually, not.
Okay.
Charlie was worried about laying brick again. He was
yeah,
blocks
there
is
you go.
the worst part. I just want to say this to all the folks out there.
Yeah.
get cinder blocks. Don't get concrete blocks when you go to lay in
No,
the,
don't get concrete blocks, or,
If-
or
if-
you'll kill a poor
if-
old man trying to
If you
lay
go to the hardware store in Hurley, you're going to get concrete blocks.
That's
So
right.
you got to keep that in mind. before
That's
you do
right.
it.
But anyway, one of the guys there, and I really read up on Wheeler Lake. I didn't fool with the South North Carolina lakes because I figured folks around here would probably want to go to the nearest one anyway. So, Wheeler Dam is close as far as I could tell. And anyway, there one of the guides up there, he has got two that went over 105 pounds that he has caught on spinning reel, and 9, I believe he said that he has caught that went over 90. So I mean, he just beats my record severely.
There and they've always talked about them giant catfish up there in that lake as long as I can remember.
Yeah, and I read up about how they fish it, and normally you would think throwing out your bait and anchoring up and throwing it out, which you can do that, but they do most of theirs by trolling slow. You know, a lot of people just let the wind drift them, and they pull a rig that's they got looks to me like a duck decoy weight on the bottom. It's a flat lead that will pull
sink
along
it,
the bottom
yeah.
without getting hung up, and then they got a 3-foot leader there. They got a lead on one and a hook on the three-way leader. I mean swivel. Excuse me, 3-way swivel. And they got a leader running off of one with a weight on it, and one of them they got the hook, and the other one tied their main line to.
What they want that to do is that weight to hit the bottom.
Yeah.
And
That bait's running just a little bit up off
Up
the
off
bottom.
the bottom,
That's
so
basically
that-
what it is.
Yeah.
And so they're
they are bottom feeders normally.
yeah, but in the book it says that they're when they mark big fish, normally it's under a school of shad.
Yeah.
And of course now, I don't know how you would go about fishing that because shad normally moves, and you would have to stay basically unless them fish stay where they at. I don't know how they plan on doing that, but anyway, they
Well, you know, once you get in the lake there, 'cause I was just looking at this. That lake is 67,070 acres.
that's
That's
a whole
That's
bunch
a
of
big-
water.
I knew you could look at it for a long way.
I bet
but-
that's over 50 gallon, don't you?
Yeah, probably.
So
You could fill up more than one bathtub with it. That's for sure.
that's right. But anyway, they
Let me go back to that before you go any
All
further.
right.
You was talking about this 105 pounder he caught in December.
yeah, that's
throw-
what I
and
just
throw
fixed to
it in.
say.
Okay,
What
my
they're
bad.
doing, they're talking about cold water fishing.
Yeah.
Cold weather fishing.
Yeah.
And this is the reason they put the article in there that basically what them fish does is they go to deeper water because the water on top is colder on account of the cold weather. So, but them lakes is deep enough, they can get deep enough that they go into warmer water, and that's where they go. And of course, your bait fish, of course, they go do the same thing. They'll try to go to deeper water where it's where the water is warmer. So,
Right.
and basically, we talked about almost every show about your scalefish, your white perch, and your brim going to deeper water, which that's the same difference. In the summer, they come up to get on cooler water or warmer water, and then winter they go down to warmer water. So,
Right. I notice every fish they showing here has been a blue, what we call a blue catfish up there.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah, them big blues is what they are.
they, I'm just reading down through here. He says when the water temperature is 50 degrees or below, then he'll go out. He said he'll stay out on the water 45 minutes in one spot there, and he'll anchor down if the current's not
Right.
strong that day.
Right,
And he said within 15 to 20 minutes you can expect to catch a fish.
exactly.
And he said it's not unrealistic for you'll at least get a 50 plus
Right.
on your
yeah,
line. So
yeah, that's.
that sounds like a dreamland, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And but now you got to understand they got graphics they use to do this with. You know, they're looking at that bottom, and they find their entries of creek bottoms and river bottoms where they come into the lake and all this. So, and basically what you do there is normally fish that point or that shoal. That's what I would fish, but of course they gonna fish where they mark them fish at. So,
Right.
and I mean that's the places I would be trying to look.
Well-
If they had I'm sure they got a map there at the marinas to give you all the bottom creeks and rivers of it. You know,
Well, there at the top where the dam is, they have a place there you can go in and get all
that
yeah,
information.
all that information from them.
Yeah.
And of course, they've got cabins, and
Right.
they've even got a big place. Years ago, when I was in a band, I think we played for a group of what do you conservationists.
Conservationist. Okay.
I couldn't get past the conversationalist, and then I don't know what all the other words came through there, but anyway, it's a very nice place if you ever get a chance to be there. And if I remember that river right, it comes out with a ledge
Yeah.
where it's shallow for just a little way, maybe 8-10 feet, and then,
Right.
and then it
The
drops
shelf
off.
drops off.
Yeah,
Right.
and
Right.
so, and if I understand what he's saying here, they try to get just the side of the shelf and then fish
Right.
back toward the
Yeah.
bank. So,
Well, normally that that drop off, what we call a drop off, your drop off ledge in your river, they gonna feed that drop off. If that water's warm enough for them to come up level with, say, within 20 foot of the top where that drop off starts dropping, they'll feed that because there's all kind of bait that feeds right along the edge of the top of that drop off. Now, cold water fishing, they might be deeper, and because the water might be colder, deeper. So, it really depends on getting your graphics there, getting your depth finders, and searching for them.
Yeah.
And that's what I do when I'm fishing competition. I go to the river and I'll look and look and look. I'll look 2 days sometime or more and find my spots where fish are congregated, and normally there'll be a huge amount of fish, plus there'll be some huge fish there.
right.
And then next day you want to check it to make sure if that's the same way, and that's the way I fish. I take my depth finder and find them, and so on a lake that big, you would normally want to start out in the mouths of your underwater creeks and rivers.
Right. And there's a lot of those that flow in all
Well,
up through the. They have more than one river that flows into that. That seems to be the pooling area.
right, it is. That's what makes up Willer Lake.
Right.
And what you do is anytime you flood an area, it's just like building a stock pond. You build a levee and dam it up, and the water comes in and fills it up. Well, it covers areas that you used to could walk in, and you can imagine up in that area all the heads that comes in
Oh, yeah.
to that point, see, and all those heads and drains that come in. I'm sure again that they got those on a map to where you can and say, well, here's where we need to go right here, and then once you get to that area, then you just start using your graphics to find the
Right.
area to where, and the way they talk, they like to use their graphics to use a trolling motor and actually pull 4 to 6 miles an hour
Right. Yeah, I saw
on the
where
water, and that way they can
Right.
actually follow that creek bed or the whatever.
I saw where some of them actually drifted down through there without the
Right,
just
without-
the current. Is it?
That's right.
I guess that might work.
Yeah, and then one man said too, about the fish being scattered. If the water warms up, they'll come in to shower water and they'll get scattered. But
Yeah.
if the water's colder, deeper, it brings them back down into those deeper areas, and they kind of bunches them up for you. So
And I'm sure all that fishing goes on the top side of the dam.
yeah,
You drop
yeah.
a good 85 feet or so to the other side. I noticed down on that side that's where they're catching the game fish like bass and different.
Yeah, that's where all your small fish congregate. So, but I'd like to actually fish that river on the bottom side of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about with trot lines and
Right.
limb lines and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
you might could do that down on that.
yeah, I'm sure once you get into the river, you can do that.
As long as you get out of that lake.
Yeah, lakes is normally confined to sports fishing. So